It's Tony again with Better Homes and Gardens Results Real Estate, and I'm here with Greg Herman with U.S. Lending.
Well, and thanks for having me here today, Tony.
Oh,
Appreciate
you bet,
it.
Greg. No problem at
Yeah.
all. Greg's going to talk with us a little bit about the process that it takes to get pre-qualified. A lot of times, whenever we're working with buyers, they know that they need to be pre-qualified. They don't have a lender yet, and they're always curious about what the process is. So I thought it'd be a good idea for Greg to give us a quick rundown on what that process is and how easy it is to get started. So let's start right there.
All right. Well, Tony, it's actually pretty easy. It's an easy process. We usually ask for 30 days of pay stubs, 2 years tax returns, 2 years of W-2s, and 2 months bank statements. So once we have everything on that, we typically pre-approve people in about 24 hours. Or sooner. That's what we shoot for. That way they can get back out and get back with you and start looking for their dream home.
Sure, that is the big thing. We love to see it happen really fast because a buyer and I will go out and find a place and instantly they want to get started right away. So it's nice to have a lender that we can call almost all hours of the day and maybe get some results really quick. So it's nice to see that can happen pretty quick.
Yeah, it's definitely important to stay on the ball, especially in this market now with low inventory.
For sure, you bet. And as a buyer's agent, actually an accredited buyer's agent, I know what the value is of a buyer doing this before they go look for a home. And so it's nice when a person has got a pre-qualification letter and they say, Tony, we're approved up to this much, let's go find a house.
Yes.
And that way we know not to look at a $400,000 house if they only qualify for $350,000.
Correct.
That kind of thing. So it's nice to have a quick turnaround that way. So totally appreciate guys like you that can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. And that's an important thing is just getting, borrowers dialed in with a certain loan program that they qualify for with their dollar amounts, and if they need closing cost coverage from the seller, that's very important.
Well, let's talk about some of those programs. What's some of the best ones out there to help people right now?
Okay, great question. There's a lot of interest in the 100% financing programs right now. You've got the Cal HFA Dream for All, which I know you talked about that before. Mm-hmm. We got USDA and VA's for the veterans. A really popular program right now is the GSFA program. The GSFA program it's 100% financing. You have a first mortgage and then you have a second mortgage. The second mortgage covers your down payment for the borrower. And for an example, it's like if we do the GSFA through the FHA program, it's 3.5% down as the down payment. And that comes in the form of a second. So the second would be payable over 15 years. So you have your first mortgage and then you have your second of 15 years, and then of course your taxes and insurance and mortgage insurance and everything else gets included. Now for county employees, the GSFA program has support for 39 counties in California out of 58. And you can actually, as a borrower, if you're a county employee, you can get a second that is deferred completely. So you don't have to make payments on that at all. Oh, wow. You just pay it off when your first mortgage is either paid off or if you sell or refinance the house later on.
Thereby making your payment much lower.
Exactly. And payment is, everybody's forte to keep a lower payment. Yeah.
Well, and really you're talking about the payment on that 3.5% down that if you weren't a county employee, then that would be part of your payment.
Sure, and if it's if you're borrowing $10,000 for a second and payable in say 15 years, your payment's almost $100 a month on that. Mm-hmm. So that gets added into the total payment. So if you're a county employee, that's how much you're saving per month.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's very good to know for the county employees, isn't it?
It is. It's a great option, and there's a lot of county employees gravitating to that program right now.
Okay. Well, then another question I had while I was listening to you there is the 3.5%. Let's say you're not a county employee, 3.5% down that is covered by this GSFA program. That means really all you'd have to do when you come to close the deal is bring closing costs.
Correct. Yes, and so you have your closing costs. If you can get closing cost coverage from the seller, so if the seller can credit a certain amount.
Sure.
We always tell our borrowers, the more seller credit you get, the less out of your pocket.
Yeah,
That's very important.
Sure.
You can get up to actually 6% seller credit on the FHA side of things. Yeah.
Where normally sometimes you can only get around 3%.
Correct. On the conventional, when you're only putting a minimum down payment or doing 100% financing, you can only get 3%. Correct.
That gives the borrower or the buyer, excuse me, a little bit more bargaining power to make the offer with the seller.
Correct. You're right.
It's like, okay, good. That's good stuff to know.
Yeah.
Good stuff to know.
Yeah. If all the cards are played right, we've gotten many people into homes for very little out of their pocket, maybe $1,000 just covering the appraisal and maybe their earnest money deposit, and that's about it. I mean, it's really a good program, and if everything's dialed in right, we can get people in.
So between a good lender who knows his stuff when it comes to loans and all of the things you just explained, and a good real estate agent who would know how to help the buyer negotiate for that kind of stuff, a person's got a pretty good edge in this market on buying a house that they want.
Correct. I totally agree with you. Absolutely. It's all about negotiation and finding the right realtor and loan officer to pave the way for people to get into a home for a good price with as little out of pocket as possible.
Absolutely. Well, Greg, I think you're that kind of lender for sure, and I certainly strive to be that kind of real estate agent. So I think we make a good team, and I encourage you to give either one of us a call. You can get a hold of me at 530-242-1020 or stop by the office here at 2650 Larkspur Lane. And Greg is available.
Yeah, you can contact me anytime, 530-515-8148, or my direct line is 530-638-8272.
Awesome. Well, sounds good. I think we covered a lot here today. I think we're adding to the industry a little bit here and giving folks a little bit of insight on the lending and of course the what I do as an agent. So, Greg, it's great to have you here, and I look forward to doing some other ones here like this with you. So.
Me too. Me as well. Thanks for having me
Absolutely.
today, Tony. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.